Hi, I'm Gary from Twin Pine Farm. Welcome to our greenhouse. Today we're going to be talking about tomatoes, what really is a ripe tomato and not. There are a number of things I look at, and color is just one, but the biggest thing I look at is how it feels. Okay? So you feel it, if you feel this green tomato, it's hard, very hard. Feel this tomato right here, and this is pretty much done right here. You feel that too? There's a little bit of a give to it, it's a little soft a little bit, and it could get a little riper, and a little more flavor intensive, but it's all a matter of personal preference.
But if you pick it now, and then won't it continue to ripen?
No.
Oh, is
Big
that
fallacy.
just a myth?
That's a myth, okay?
Because that's what
and that's what we're trying to dispel, okay?
Yeah.
And this is the reason why. You notice how we grow here? We have these trays here. They're 10, 20 no-hole trays, they're called in the industry. It's 10 inches by 20 inches. And what we do is we have our pots full of perlite in it, and they're just sitting in this nutrient solution. The plant, when it is growing here, will, as a part of the Krebs cycle or photosynthesis, one of the byproducts is citric acid. It will produce citric acid, extrude it, and store it at its roots. Now we have this what they call static system here. That citric acid will stay there, okay? And a lot of other systems, hydroponic systems, they have flow-through systems. That citric acid gets washed away, wouldn't be available to it. With that in mind, the sweet, the sugar part of your tomato is metabolized and stored in the leaves. Now comes in whether it's red or ripe, that whole business. When you start, when a plant senses the tomato, the fruit, and this is a fruit, is getting ready to ripen, or it's getting ready to spread its seed, it will start drawing up that citric acid from the root area, and it will start extracting the sugar from the leaves and inject it into the tomato. Okay? Keep in mind that 50% of your tomato flavor comes in the very last day of ripening. Okay?
So in other words, when you flush it through, that hasn't had a chance to happen at all.
Right. It doesn't. When we have the static system, that mimics more of the natural process. Okay. Okay. So tomatoes are like that. Oranges, strawberries, pineapples.
Pineapple?
Yeah, pineapples the same way. If you take them off the plant, separate them from the plant, it can't draw that flavor from the rest of the plant. Once it's separated, you're done.
And if they don't have the citric acid, then
you won't get that. You won't get that tart flavor.
No wonder a lot of those big tomatoes are so flavorless.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're a green tomato that's just turned red, and that's two different things. Plants naturally emit ethylene. Ethylene will turn your tomato red, and that's what they usually do. Where they'll fill up a trailer, semi-trailer, with tomatoes, and then gas them. They can do it that way or in another room with ethylene, and it turns red. But it's got nothing to do with whether it's ripe or not. And when we first started selling this stuff, we did a lot of marketing, and I came up with the analogy that everyone seems to understand, and I think a real good example of it. We do have some tours through here, and people from all internationally, and I kind of joke that it's intergalactic, that they understand this concept. We all understand the concept. Just because he's good looking doesn't mean he's good. And when you say that, the translator says it, the finger starts wagging immediately, and then of course you have to reverse that. Just because she's good looking doesn't mean she's good. Of course, he's now got something to fight back with. That's the same thing with vegetables. We in America are so jaded to think that just because it looks good, it must be good. Not true. Quite often, the ugliest looking tomato is your best tomato. When I pick tomatoes out here, one thing I look for is splits.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I look for splits is a tomato with a high sugar content will draw water faster. Quite often, it will draw water faster than the skin can stretch, and it will split. And if you go to the farmer's market, look for the splits. You quite often get them less expensive, but ironically, they're the better tomato. Yeah, it's just split.
I just wondered.
Yep.
That's very nice. I still have it running.
Okay.